she's holding up her otter baby, and the caption is like, "I made this." That's what I feel like right now. But anyway, today we will be talking about my top 5 tips for breastfeeding, as well as giving you guys a 3-month update. Follow me here. You can just click on this actual circle. You can click on that. Go ahead, click on it, subscribe right now. I mean, why not? Just go ahead and subscribe, okay? Just do that. Do that. Go ahead, subscribe. It's not a big deal. Just go ahead. Just click on it. Click it. Yeah. All right. Good job. So my tip number 1 will be water. So important, y'all. It is so important that not only are you getting enough water for yourself, but you're getting enough water for your baby. You want to make sure that you are consuming as much water as possible, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, your baby's nutritional source is completely you. If you're not getting enough water, then your baby's not getting enough water. Number 2, if you're not getting enough water for you, you're going to have issues passing a bowel movement, and that'll end up leading to stress associated with the breastfeeding, because you're going to need the double amount of water since you are feeding someone else besides yourself. So you want to add an additional 32 ounces per day to the amount of recommended water per day. The best way to tell if you are dehydrated is, of course, your urine. If it's a very dark yellow, you are dehydrated. If your urine is about the same color as the water that is in your toilet bowl, then you're drinking too much water. So you definitely want to monitor it based on your body. Now, moving on to number 2, oatmeal. Now, there isn't any scientific evidence that this works. However, I will say from my personal experience, and it's also said to be traditional wisdom to consume oatmeal. I eat old-fashioned oats by Quaker, okay? I eat that oatmeal either every day for breakfast or every other day. And then on top of that, I love oatmeal cookies, like the iced oatmeal cookies. Oatmeal, period, is good for breastfeeding, okay? You want to know why? Because oatmeal is a great source for iron. A lot of women have a hard time producing the amount of milk that they need because they have low iron. If you're getting something, a mineral pretty much, from a food source, then of course it's going to help boost it because you're lacking that mineral in the first place. A lot of women are like, well, you shouldn't recommend anyone to eat oatmeal. It's like, well, a lot of women don't realize that they're not getting the amount of minerals and vitamins that they need per day, and that is why they're having an issue with their milk supply. Number 3, I'm going to say make sure you have a diet consumed of whole foods and that your diet is balanced. What I mean by whole foods is apples and bananas, vegetables. Make sure that they're whole foods, okay? Because you're not only feeding yourself, you're also feeding your baby. And if you are not giving your body what it needs, your baby's not getting what it needs. And then if your baby is getting as much as it needs from those things, then you yourself are not getting what you need. There isn't a problem with having a snack here or there. I'm not going to sit here and act holier than thou on this camera right now. I love an Oreo. I love an oatmeal cookie. I love a bowl of cereal. I love a chip. But I eat my fruits and vegetables whole, raw, okay? A lot of the things, or a lot of fruits and vegetables, I like to eat them raw. Kale salad or make juices. The easiest way, if you do not like fruits and vegetables, make a juice. Add pineapple juice to it, and I promise you it will taste delicious, and you're also getting like 2 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables in that 1 cup. So you're getting your whole servings of what you need for the entire day in a 1 8-ounce cup. Just do that. Do whatever you have to do, but make sure that you do it, because you have to remember you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding your baby. Number 4, my number 4 tip, alternate your positioning. Make sure you're changing up your feeding, whether you're doing a cradle hold, whether you're doing a football hold, whether you're laying down and you're doing it. And the reason why I say that is because you want to make sure you're trying to drain as many ducts as possible, as it's possible to get blockage. I've been there before. It is not a pleasant experience. It is very painful. Number 5, so important. Now, a lot of people don't think that this can impact your milk supply, but stress. keep down your stress as much as possible, okay? If there is anything that is a source of stress for you, eliminate it. It can impact your milk supply ridiculously. And if you are not monitoring that, you will not know. You will not know where the source is from. You'll keep trying different things. You'll think that it is your fault. And that is why they have so many breastfeeding support groups, because stress, you've already been as close to death, all right? You've just had a baby. You're in a very sensitive and emotional spot in your life. And if you have other stress factors in your life on top of trying to breastfeed, you don't know what you're doing, okay? If you're not a first-time mother and you've breastfed, this ain't your first rodeo. But if you're a first-time mom and you don't have anyone close to you that has breastfed successfully, then you already have kind of doubt and stuff like that in the back of your head. We have to understand, okay, and I try to stress this to everybody: mind, body, spirit, okay? It all of them impact one another. These are my top 5 tips from my experience breastfeeding, and so far I am at 3 months. So since we got past my top 5 tips, I want to go ahead and talk to you all about my update, my 3-month update, and I'll kind of break it down by month and then bring you up to speed to today. So when he was not even a month old, I did have some issues with engorgement as well as overactive letdown. What I had to do was basically pump 2 ounces out of the breast that he would be feeding from, and then I would feed him from there. And I also had to sit back in a reclined position so that the milk wasn't coming out too fast. Since he was really small, had a little bitty mouth, he was 6 pounds and 15 ounces when he was born. Just so you guys can see, because he's a big one now. So I typically fed him from my left breast because it wasn't as large as my right breast, and I also had a lot of engorgement from both breasts, honestly. And then I would just exclusively pump my right breast majority of the time. So I would pump it down, and then, you know, whenever it's time for him to eat the second time, then I would let him eat from the right breast, since I pumped majority of the milk out. Now, another problem that we were having during that time, from about a few weeks old to about a month or 2, I was having issues with him getting too much fore milk. Now, if some of my hair is down in the back, it's because when I hold him up here, he likes to grab the hair. Yeah. They say there isn't really that much of a difference between the two, except the fact that one, it comes before the other, and that the milk, you know, at the back, the hind milk has a higher fat content, but that makes them different from one another either way. So yeah, so he was having issues with he was getting too much fore milk, pretty much, because he was so small, his tummy was so small, you know, so he really didn't need to get as much to get full. So I also was kind of pumping out that fore milk and making sure that he did get the hind milk. I was engorged, and it didn't even out until about the 2nd month of his life, until about the 2nd month leading into the 3rd month. So I was definitely engorged. Not a pleasant feeling at all. I will say I did relieve some of that by taking a shower. That pressure, that shower was everything. That warm water, oh, it helped so much. I never really had an issue with it back then, but I will say now when he latches on, it is definitely uncomfortable. And I think it is because of this. Now at night, like, he'll wake up and he'll want the boob. Like, he don't even want it to eat. Like, he wants it to literally just use as a pacifier. So it's like, while he's sleeping, he literally has my boob in his mouth, and it's like he doesn't have it completely in his mouth as if he's about to eat, but he has like the nipple in his mouth and it's just sucking that part. So I think that's why it is a little bit tender. I will say, just make sure that you keep your breasts moisturized. Make sure that you are using whatever cream that you like to use or whatever you prefer. Also, thank you to who actually bought me that from my baby registry. It does get use out of it. He's been exclusively breastfeeding, like getting milks exclusively from the breast, since after Thanksgiving. Like since we got back home, we went to my family's house for the holiday. Since we got back home, he has not had a bottle. So he's been exclusively breastfeeding like for about 2 months now. Yeah, overall we've been rocking and rolling, y'all. He wants it straight from the source. He a little bougie. He said, no, I don't want this bottle. Let me get the tap poured in my mouth. So yeah, that's what he's been on. And always towards the end of the video where he starts to just get over it, you know. But if you all have any questions for me, definitely leave them below. Ask me some questions, sis. Or you have some recommendations, you have some tips, like this is a family. Like, let me know what's going on or what you think should be added to the list. So follow me on Instagram. It's The Brown Perfection. Definitely check out my blog if you're not already here. It's thebrownperfection.com. Also follow me on Twitter. I am TBT. Hold on, at I am TBP. Wow. And if you have any other questions for me, any video ideas, you can leave them in the comment box below, or you can just shoot me a direct message on any of my channels. Either way, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you made it this far, like sis, let me know. I will literally have an Oreo cookie delivered to you because you a real one. You a G. And I see you. We see each other. Thanks again so much for watching, y'all, and I'm out.